Hi there, and welcome to this demonstration on how to create your own typeface from your handwriting. We'll be using Illustrator and MyScriptFont.com. MyScriptFont.com is a very lightweight converter. If you need something more advanced, like ligatures or small caps inside of your typeface, I would suggest that you go on to a more robust application like FontLab or Glyphs. There are two items you will need today. You're going to need your own scanned manuscript, and you're also going to need the template PNG form from MyScriptFont.com. To download that, go to their website, and I chose the PNG, but I'm sure you could work just as well from the PDF. When you have that downloaded, proceed to the next step. Now, let's open up that manuscript file inside of Illustrator. So go up to File, Open, and mine is calligraphysample.jpg. Let's open that. Obviously, this needs to be flipped around. So go up to Object, down to Transform, Rotate. I want to shift it a negative 90 degrees and click OK. Now, you'll notice that my artboard is now the wrong size for this. So click on your artboard tool, double click on the graphic, and you see how it just snaps into place? That's a nice little feature. Let's save this file. So go up to File, Save As, and I'm going to call this My New Font. And I'm going to put this right on my desktop so I can find it a little bit more easily later. Save it and click OK. The next step in this is to convert your artwork into outlines. Now, let's make sure you've got the right tool. Get the black arrow, go up to Object, come down to Image Trace, Make and Expand. If you see this, that is just fine. I'm okay with this. It is fussing at me just a little bit because I scanned my image in at 300 ppi. It's okay. It's not going to take terribly long. Great. Now, I'm going to expand my layer here and see what it has. Again, this is a very large file, so it's going to start rendering from the bottom to give you the thumbnails, from the bottom on up. And what we'll find is that you're going to see some things that look blank, some layers that look blank, some paths that look blank. So we're going to have to group our letters together so we make sure that everything is in a nice package for when we export this. Another advantage to grouping is you may find that you need to export this an individual letter as an SVG file. Those are getting very, very common for front-end developers to use on their websites. So just in case you might need these as SVGs down the road, let's go ahead and work on grouping them together. Now, you've got your direct selection tool. We're going to go down inside the object by double-clicking. I'm just going to start getting rid of the ones that I don't need. Okay, so I know for sure I don't need those. I don't need these. Now, you can probably see, I've got some extra little things here. Hold on. There we go. Now they're going away. Yeah, you just have to kind of click around and see what's there, what remnants are there. I'm going to go back up one level here. Missed one. Whoop, come back here. All right. Now let's go back up. All right, then back into my layer. Okay. If you're taking a look at my manuscript here, you'll notice several double letters. I was just playing around trying to get a form that I thought would be a little nicer for this. So I'm going to delete the ones that I don't really want. And okay, there we go. think I like this D better. Now, through the beauty of video editing, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do this. So here I go. You may find that you've got a little symbol that has multiple parts to it. Just make sure that before you delete it, you select it all, then hit delete. There. Now I've gotten rid of the characters that I don't want. The next step is to group them. I group them just in case somewhere down the road I might need an SVG character. What I'm seeing out there as a trend is that many, many more front-end developers are using SVGs to put up on a website. So I'm just going to do a little bit of extra work right now before I happen to need that down the road. Save yourself some time. So here we go. Group, and just select it and hit Command or Control G. If you have a character with 2 parts or more, be sure you select all of the parts before you group it. I'm taking a look inside the Layers panel to check to see that everything made it into a group. And if it's not, I'm just selecting it and grouping it from there. So you might want to check your panel too. It will show you if you missed anything. I'm also selecting the paths that are just a little random. Now, some of these blank paths over here, they're probably just the inside fill, so I wouldn't worry about those. Okay, good. Save your file. Now, I'm going to back out a little bit, zoom out, select all of this, and we're going to move it off to the right side. Get it off stage here. You can see my white spots where I got some of the inside stuff. For our purposes right now, that's going to be just fine. But again, if you do need to have some kind of transparency in your letters, you're going to need to get rid of that. So just know that that can happen, okay? Now it's time to go ahead and bring in the template from myscriptfont.com. So go up to File, Open. Now it's time to bring in our template from myscriptfont.com. So you're going to place this file on your stage here. on your artboard. Go up to File, Place, and navigate to where you have your template stored, and place it in the upper left. Again, we're going to need to resize the artboard. There we go. That looks pretty good. Let's just drag this puppy over a little bit too. Get a little closer to our letters. Now, you'll notice that my letters are significantly larger than the letters on this template form. So I am going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to stick that template up there just because it's going to make it easier when I want to do some resizing. Now, you're going to grab all of layer 1 and move it over with the Move tool so that it is roughly on top of the characters. Now you notice that I didn't put layer 1 on top of the template. That's because I just wanted to go ahead and see these outlines of the letters. I'll be able to see that on top of the template and be able to resize it accordingly. Okay, hold down your Shift key, grab the lower right corner and resize it and move it until it is in the right spot. May take you a couple of times there. All right, that's looking pretty good. Might go just a smidge more. If you resize all of them at the same time, you're not going to have to worry about problems down the road. So that's why I want to go ahead and just do that step now. Okay, that looks pretty close to me. Now it's time to move the template layer below the layer 1. Excuse me. Yes, template layer below layer 1. Let's get in a little closer because I'm going to be dragging stuff around here. Okay. Now, let's get inside these letters and move them into the right spots. I like to get in a little closer here. There we go. You know, as I'm getting in here just a little closer, I'm thinking I'm going to make this just a smidge larger. Hold on just a second. It's not going to take long. That looks good. Okay. So you just fix it as you need to. Yeah, that's better. And I'm starting from the open spots first. Check the alignment of the baseline and make sure that it looks that you've got things flush like you need it to. If you need to, feel free to go ahead and pull down a ruler. I hit Command or Control R, and we're just going to line that up right there. There we go. Yeah, see that I? He's a little too high. Same thing with the J. That'll give it a nice evenness when you get to using your font. Okay, now I have these roughly in position. Now, these are by no means Perfect. I would really want to go back through and redo the lowercase ones again. I'm noticing problems with the descenders on my Y's, P's, and Q's. They're forcing the bowls and other apertures upward. So just keep that in mind. I'm aware. Thank you very much. Okay. Now it's time to export this as a JPEG. One word of caution. You really do need the bottom section of the optional letters to be present on the JPEG. If you do that, it's going to create problems when you try to export the OTF or TTF files. So let's save this as a JPEG. File. Export, because remember, we are in Illustrator. We need to do this way. And I'm just going to go down and do it as a JPEG. I'm calling it mynewfont.jpg. Export. Our next step is to go to myscriptfont.com and upload your new file. We'll do that in the next movie.